Yeah, I don't know, man. We lose a lot of things in this place.
My problem is I spread things out all over the place.
All right, we are live, everyone. Okay, so let's go. Hello, I'm Brother Doug with my mom over there next to me. And Sister Sally's with us today. We are the Waking by Yahuwah Assembly. We are going to be going into our regular half Torah readings. So first we're going to do the Torah portion as usual. And so we are going to be going into Numbers 22-25. So what I'll do for you guys is I'll put the shared screen on here. And let's see. Make sure my audio's on there. And we will go to Numbers 22. Or actually, my bad, Numbers 23-25. So we're going to start at 23. My bad about that. All right, so here we go. So now we're getting into the story about Balaam here. Okay, so Balaam said to Balak, build me here 7 altars and prepare me here 7 calves, 7 rams. And Balak did as Balaam told him, and he offered up a calf and a ram on altar. And Balaam said to Balak, stand by your sacrifice, and I will go and see if Yahuwah will appear to me and meet me, in the word which he shall show me, I will report to you. And Balak stood by his sacrifice. So we're at verse 4 here. Balaam went to inquire of Elohim, and he went straight forward, and Elohim appeared to Balaam. Balaam said to him, I have prepared the 7 altars, and have offered a calf and a ram on altar. And Yahuwah put a word into the mouth of Balaam and said, you shall return to Balak, and thus shall you speak. And he returned to him. Moreover, he stood over his whole burnt offerings and all the princes of Moab, and with him. And the spirit of Yahuwah came upon him. And he took up this parable and said, Balak, king of Moab, sent forth out of Mesopotamia, which again, your Masoretic text Bibles would probably say Syria or maybe Aram, like Aramea. Okay, so out of the mountains of the east, saying, come curse me, Yakub, and come call for a curse for me upon Yasharal. How can I curse whom Yahuwah does not curse? Or how can I devote, meaning devoting to destruction, whom Yahuwah does not devote? For from the top of the mountains I shall see him. From the hills I shall observe him. Behold, the people shall dwell alone and shall not be reckoned among the nations. By the way, you could, I'm going to make a little cross reference here because I'm already reminded here that this is a concept we can find in Deuteronomy later on, where Yahuwah talks about that he had this plan all the way back from the Tower of Babel. So we'll go to that after we read these chapters. But I'm just writing a couple of notes here from Deuteronomy. A couple of cross references. All right. So they will not be reckoned among the Gentiles. Who has exactly calculated the seed of Yakub? This goes back to the promise to Abraham, the covenant promise. Who shall number the families of Yasharal? Let my soul die with the souls of the righteous, and let my seed be as their seed. And Balak said to Balaam, what have you done to me? I called you to curse my enemies, and behold, you have greatly baruched them. And Balaam said to Balak, whatsoever Yahuwah shall put into my mouth, shall I not take heed to speak this. So basically, in modern English, that would be, if Yahuwah put something in my mouth to speak, do I have any power not to speak it? It's basically what he's saying. Balak said to him, come ye with me, or come with me to another place where you shall not see the people, but only you shall see a part of them, and shall not see them all, and curse me them from there. So we see that he's trying to make Balaam compromise. And he took him to a high place of the field to the top of the quarried rock, and he built there 7 altars and offered a calf and a ram on altar. Okay, then we go to verse 15. And Balaam said to Balak, stand by the sacrifice, and I will go to inquire of Yahuwah. And Yahuwah met Balaam, put a word into his mouth, and said, return to Balak, thus shall you speak. And he returned to him, and he also was standing by his whole burnt offering, and all the princes of Moab with him. And Balak said to him, what has Yahuwah spoken? And he took up his parable and said, rise up, Balak, and hear, hearken as a witness, you son of Zippor. Yahuwah is not as man to waver, nor as the son of man to be threatened. Shall they say and not perform? Shall he speak and not keep his word? So this is basically showing that Yahuwah is immortal. Number one, he is not a mortal being in his fullness. He is a spirit being. He is perfect. He is not fallible. This is the whole point of this verse. This verse, though, is not saying that he can't take on flesh and become a human. So I know some people like to use that verse, and there's people that are non-oneness people in this movement that want to misrepresent that verse and twist it and manipulate it and eisegetically want to put their own interpretation into it. That's not what it's saying. It's not saying he can't take on flesh, because then you would have this verse 19 here contradicting Genesis 18, because Yahuwah did multiple times, even before the New Testament, Yahuwah came as a man. He took the form of a man to come to people. So let's not take stuff out of context. Verse 20. Behold, I have received commandment to Barak. I will Barak and not turn back. There shall not be trouble in Yaakov, neither shall sorrow be seen in Yashral. Yahuwah, his Elohim with him. The esteems of rulers are in him. It was Yahuwah who brought him out of Egypt. He has it, as it were, the esteem of a unicorn. So unicorn is a one-horned animal. For the most part, it's a one-horned rhino. Scripture seems to depict those type of animals being called unicorns in Scripture, where you got a rhino with one horn. Okay. For there is no divination, Jacob, nor enchantment in Yashral. In season it shall be told to Jacob and Yashral what Yahuwah shall perform. Behold, the people rise up as a lion's whelp, shall exalt himself as a lion. He shall not lie down till he has eaten the prey, and he shall drink the blood of the slain. What's interesting here is this is referring to all of Yashral, but it seems to be doing a parallel to the Baraka we see in Genesis 48 for the tribe of Judah. So I want to make a little note here. Numbers 23, 24 to cross with Genesis 48's Baraka of Judah. Ooh, sorry about that. All right, verse 24 here. Behold, the people shall rise up as a lion's whelp, shall exalt himself as a lion. He shall not lie down till he has eaten the prey, and he shall drink the blood of the slain. And Balak said to Balaam, neither curse the people at all for me, nor barak them at all. And Balaam answered and said to Balak, didn't I not speak to you, saying, whatsoever thing Yahuwah shall speak to me, that will I do, meaning I have no power to hold back what Yahuwah wants me to speak. Verse 27, and Balak said to Balaam, come, I will remove you to another place, if it shall please Yahuwah, and curse them for me from there. And Balak told Balaam, so Balak took Balaam to the top of Pogor, which extends to the wilderness. And Balaam said to Balak, build me here 7 altars, and prepare me here 7 calves and 7 rams. And Balak did as Balaam told him, and offered a calf and a ram on altar. So we're about to get in Numbers 24. Go ahead, Mom.
Okay. Now when Balaam saw that it pleased Yahuwah to bless Yashmael, he did not resort to sorcery as at other times, but turned his face toward the desert. When Balaam looked out and saw Yashmael encamped tribe by tribe, the spirit of Yahuwah came upon him, and he uttered his oracle, the oracle of Balaam son of Beor, the oracle of one whose eye sees clearly, the oracle of one who hears the words of Yahuwah, who sees a vision from the Almighty, who falls prostrate, and whose eyes are open. How beautiful are your tents, O Yaakov, your dwelling places, O Yashmael. Like valleys they spread out, like gardens beside a river, like aloes planted by Yahuwah, like cedars beside the waters. Water will flow from their buckets. Their seed will have abundant water. Their king will be greater than a god. Their kingdom will be exalted. Yahuwah brought them out of Egypt. They have the strength of a wild ox. They devour hostile nations and break their bones in pieces. With their arrows, they pierce them. Like a lion, they crouch and lie down, like a lioness who dares to rouse them. May those who bless you be baraked. May those who curse you be cursed. Then Balak's anger burned against Balaam. He struck his hands together and said to him, I summoned you to curse my enemies, but you have baraked them these 3 times. Now leave at once and go home. I said I would reward you handsomely, but Yahuwah has kept you from being rewarded. Balaam answered Balak, did I not tell the messengers you sent me, even if Balak gave me his palace filled with silver and gold, I could not do anything of my own accord, good or bad. I go beyond the command of Yahuwah, and I must say only what Yahuwah has said. Now I am going back to my people, but come, let me warn you of what this people will do to your people in days to come. This is Balaam's 4th oracle. Then he uttered his oracle, the oracle of Balaam son of Peor, the oracle of one whose eye sees clearly, the oracle of one who hears the words of Yahuwah, who has knowledge from the Most High, who sees a vision from the Almighty, who falls prostrate and whose eyes are open. I see him, but not now. I behold him, but not near. A star will come out of Yaakov. A scepter will rise out of Yashmael. He will crush the foreheads of Moab, the skulls of all the sons of Sheph. Edom will be conquered. Seir, his enemy, will be conquered, but Yashmael will go strong. A ruler will come out of Yaakov and destroy the survivors of the city. Okay, now the final oracle. Then Balaam saw Amalek and uttered his oracle. Amalek was first among the nations, but he will come to ruin at last. Then he saw the Kenites and uttered his oracle. Your dwelling place is secure. Your nest is set in a rock. Yet you Kenites will be destroyed. When Asher takes you captive, then he uttered his oracle. Ah, who can live when Yahuwah does this? Ships will come from the shores of Kittim, which also Kittim is also known as the island of Cyprus. Just to give a little footnote there. They will subdue Asher and Eber. But they too will come to ruin. Then Balaam got up and returned home, and Balak went his own way.
That's it, huh?
Yep, that's all of
Now, what
24.
verse is with the star coming out?
That is chapter 24, verse, give me 1 second there. Okay, that is verse 17. It's kind of in the middle of 17. I see him, but not now. I behold him, but not near. A star will come out of Yaakov. A scepter will rise up from Yashrael, and he will crush the foreheads of Moab, the skulls of all the sons of Sheth. Edom will be conquered.
So, 24%. So, there's something I want to look at that because, I mean, for the most part, you can pretty much get the idea that it's not talking about a literal star.
No,
Just from face value, but I want to show people, especially people that are very fond of the Star of David, how that verse does not provoke the Star of David whatsoever. It actually has nothing to do with the actual star. And
No.
this is not my opinion. This is the opinion of earlier rabbis, okay, from the early Talmudic period, what they thought about that verse. I have my Targums here. Okay, I'm going to show you one of these, how they understood that that verse is talking about the Messiah, not a Star of David. So I'm going to show you really quick here. This one is known as the Targum of Pseudo Jonathan because it's falsely attributed to a guy named Jonathan, so that's why it's called that. So now if we go to Numbers 24 here, verse 17. It says here, I shall see him, but not know. I shall behold him, but it is not near. When the mighty king of Yaqub's house shall reign, and the Messiah, instead of star, it says Messiah, the power scepter of Yasharal shall be anointed. So this guy understood that that verse is actually specifically talking about a messianic prophecy. Let's see, this other one talks about it too as well. Yep. Instead of the word star here, it says, I shall see him. This is from the Jerusalem Targum, so this is a different author, a different Targum. I shall see him, but not know, but not now. I shall behold him, but he is not near. A king to arise from the house of Yaqub, and a redeemer and ruler from the house of Yashrael, who will slay the strong ones of Moab and bring to nothing and consume all the children of the east. So you have the Jerusalem Targum, which had one author. You have the Pseudo-Jonathan Aramaic Targum of the Torah. Two different authors both agreed that the word star being used is a allegory for Yahusha. It's not, doesn't mean a literal star. So anyways, I just wanted to bring that up because I know some people that don't want to let go of the Star of David try to say that that verse supports the Star of David supposedly. But obviously, as you can see there, it doesn't. So anyway, so we're going to move on. I think we're going to go to Micah 5 to 6. And I think we're going to do a new recording for that because we just did 3 chapters here. So, okay. All right. So we'll be back soon, everyone. We'll be starting Micah 5 to 6. Stay tuned. Shalom.